No, I think what we're looking at right now is they're learning right now they don't have the influence they thought they did. And it's very obvious. Look, this is President Trump's movement. People saw President Trump get shot. People saw President Trump dragged through the courts for years. President Trump's home was the one that was raided by the FBI, and President Trump's the one that they impeached twice during his first term. President Trump's the one that was also had an election stolen from him in 2020. And the public is behind the President of the United States. And I think one of the biggest mistakes people like Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly make is believing that they can co-opt his movement by simply attacking him and insulting him or misrepresenting his words or taking him too literally, which is partly what they do with the memes and different jokes that he does. And I think right now...
But I think the reaction to the Jesus meme, which, of course, Trump came out and said, oh, I thought that was a doctor. Okay, fine, whatever.
Right.
But the reaction from the Tuckers, the Megyn Kellys, the Riley Gaines, even those people, I mean, I truly believe they were just sitting there waiting in the wings, just waiting for an excuse to bail. And finally, they feel like, oh, this one's finally going to be the thing he does that allows us to bail and really speak to our hearts, which they, in their deepest hearts of hearts, actually hate the man.
Correct. Absolutely.
They have since the beginning.
This was their off-ramp. So they tried to get in. They probably hated it.
But they've had multiple off-ramps. We've seen them do. And then they still kind of like creep back in.
Correct. Well, that's on the public. And I would say that the public is accountable to this. Like, if you allow yourself to be continuously duped by these people, that's a choice that you make. Mm-hmm. We've seen this so many times, especially going back to the first administration. You know who these podcast people are. We know who these journalists are. We saw Megyn Kelly in the first debate with President Trump. We've seen Tucker's commentary post-2020 in his private text messages. We know what his real feelings are.
Saying he loathes President, he hates the man, he can't wait for him to be out of his hair. I mean, he was talking like a true establishment Republican.
And for anybody, and those of us who have met the president, he's one of the kindest, nicest, funniest, most engaging people.
And forgiving, by the way.
Absolutely. Very graceful, very understanding, and that's something that's very not accentuated nearly enough.
So before we get to Candace, I know you have your theories on her, but Bannon, I think, is a different creature. Bannon, I think, is a hurt creature. He is hurt because he was kicked out. He wants to take ownership of the movement because he feels like he was actually the architect of the movement. And now he's not there anymore. So this is a hurt animal who is now trying to get back into the graces of Trump while also leading a semi-resistance.
I absolutely agree. And he also is somebody that I think that certain people make choices that they start a failure feedback loop. They never leave. And Steve Bannon's one of those people. And it started in 2017 when he was terminated from the first administration. Right. And I don't think he ever started making good decisions after that.
And people keep forgetting just the amount of vitriol that happened when he left.
Michael Wolff. I mean, he was the main source of most of those commentary in that book that Wolff released. It was Steve Bannon, which is why President Trump originally coined him Sloppy Steve. It was a tweet, on the old Twitter. In response to Steve Bannon essentially being the person that provided all those quotes to Michael Wolff. And he never changed, and he kept going. And now that we've read the Epstein emails between Steve Bannon...
And text messages.
Once you read those, you understand that the guidance that he was receiving from Jeffrey Epstein is exactly the thing he's executing to this day. As far as trying to co-opt MAGA and the Make America Great Again movement away from Donald Trump.
And I feel like that's something that these people who claim to, be a part of the movement don't understand about Donald Trump. They truly don't understand what actually makes Trump upset. I think Bannon is mistakenly assessing that the way to make Trump upset is to, push this narrative that Israel is pulling his strings, because that's the thing that took Bannon off the White House campus. When the narrative became Bannon was pulling Trump's strings. That was what actually made Trump really upset.
The leaking also was very problematic.
But what these people don't understand, too, is that you can't take something from a man whose pride and joy in life is building. And when he feels like he's built a movement, which he has, Donald Trump has built the MAGA movement.
Right.
And you take that away from him, he will be upset and he will kick you off the island.
Well, I also think that President Trump views the MAGA movement as a personal relationship. And that's why when you watch him,
Yeah.
he's never more himself than when he's standing in front of his actual voters.
Yeah.
When he's out there and he's campaigning or he walks into a restaurant, that's the real President Trump, and he loves that.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.